Scene 5, the Golden Eagles inside the Grand Hall. The hum of voices echoed off towering stone walls. Chandeliers cast a warm, flickering glow over the rows of benches and tall arched windows, where beams of early light filtered through, tinting the space in hues of amber and blue. Tira let her gaze wander up toward the intricately carved ceiling, taking in the Gothic architecture with a mix of awe and trepidation. Ahead, Addie's voice rose cheerfully. "Oi, Mac! Tommy, over here!" Tara watched as two boys turned, one in a bright golden-yellow jacket with the Golden Eagles emblem stitched boldly on the back. He stood out among the mostly pale faces with his deep skin tone, broad-shouldered, and wearing a pair of bulky headphones that sat around his neck. The confidence in his stride was palpable, as if he were already a golden eagle. Beside him, the second boy had blue-dyed hair and thick-rimmed glasses. He wore a charcoal sweater with a small, subtle golden eagle's pin on the collar, a quieter but equally proud nod to his hopes. Mac's face lit up with a broad grin when he saw Addie, and he reached out to pull her into a playful, one-armed hug before turning his attention to Tira. He extended a hand, his grip firm as he shook hers, then pulled her in for a quick one-armed hug as well. Tira stiffened slightly, surprised by the easy familiarity and the strong, spicy scent of cologne. "Mac," he said, tapping his chest with his thumb. "You're Addie's new roomie, huh? You're gonna need a pair of headphones too if you're roomin' with her," he teased with a laugh. Tira found herself smiling, caught a bit off guard but charmed by his warmth. "Nice to meet you, Mac," she replied, feeling Max's presence perk up in amused curiosity at the group dynamic. Mac released her, flashing a wink, then turned back to Addie. "Looks like you scored a good one, Addie. Lucky find. Meanwhile, I'm stuck with this clown." He jerked a thumb toward the other boy, who rolled his eyes with a wry grin. "That's like gravity accusing mass of being too attractive," the boy retorted, elbowing Mac in the ribs with a clever smirk. "Wait, what?" Mac laughed, trying to wrap his head around the concept. Addie laughed, a little louder than Tara had heard before, and there was an easy tomboyish energy to her around the two boys. "Tira, this is Tommy," she said, gesturing to the boy with the blue hair. "Brains of the group, definitely, as you can see." Tommy gave Tira a polite nod, a bit more reserved than Mac's open friendliness. "Nice to meet you, Tira," he said simply, and his handshake was quick but firm. She noted the way his gaze held a calm intelligence, observing rather than dominating. Something about his quiet energy seemed to balance Mac's bold presence, adding a layer of subtlety to the house she hadn't expected. As she took in Tommy's composed demeanor alongside the lively energy of Addie and Mac, Tira felt a flicker of new respect for the Golden Eagles. She had once thought of their house as brash and straightforward, yet here was Tommy, a reminder that depth often hid beneath the surface. The comfortable familiarity among the three of them and unspoken camaraderie brought out an unexpected pang of envy. They felt like they belonged, like they'd already formed a bond with each other, while she was still testing the waters, unsure of her place. Mac crossed his arms, his tone shifting to something more animated. "So, Addie, did you catch the Mana Ball match yesterday?" he asked, his eyes lighting up with excitement. "Oh, it was a mess," Addie replied, diving right in. "The offense was strong, but the defense, don't get me started. It's like they forgot what their bloody jobs were. Absolutely infuriating." The two of them launched into a lively discussion about the players and strategies, their words weaving in and out of terms Tira vaguely recognized but didn't fully understand. Max's voice floated into her mind, almost as if he were smirking. "Mana ball, the school's prize sport. Care to try out for the team? Let me get through orientation first," she replied dryly, amused by his assumption. Watching them talk, she realized this sporty side of Addie was one she hadn't yet seen. It was almost refreshing, and Tira found herself imagining, if only for a moment, what it might be like to fit seamlessly into their world. After a bit, Tommy turned to Tira with a thoughtful look. "So, Tira," he began, his tone both welcoming and curious, "are you looking to be a golden eagle like the rest of us?" Tira hesitated, her mind flickering with thoughts she hadn't quite solidified yet. "I'm not really sure," she replied, keeping her tone casual, though she felt Max's silent encouragement to open up a bit more. "I guess I see something here, but only time will tell." Tommy nodded, a glimmer of understanding in his eyes. Fair enough, he said, then added with a wry smile. Believe it or not, I'm the odd one out in my family. My parents and older siblings are all azure bears, practically a tradition. I guess I figured it was time to break the mold. She raised an eyebrow, surprised but intrigued by this unexpected revelation. Really? And you chose the golden eagles over the bears? Yep, they're great, he said with a shrug, but I wanted a path that was different. Felt right to go against the grain, you know. A newfound respect for Tommy flickered within her. His calm presence was anything but ordinary, and his quiet decision to stand apart from his family's legacy added a layer of boldness she hadn't anticipated. Suddenly the Golden Eagles seemed like more than just a house. They felt like a choice, one that held surprising depth. Just as Tira was about to respond, Mac interjected, looking between them with a broad grin. Oh, I forgot to mention, looks like we're all in the same group. His eyebrows shot up, eyes gleaming with excitement. Heard they're splitting us into groups of 10 for the big test. A group exam? Tira echoed, glancing between them, intrigued. Tommy took the lead, nodding with a faint smile. Yeah, it's part of how they're evaluating us. Apparently, they want to see how we work together under less predictable conditions. The environment is supposed to bring out our true selves, or so my siblings say. Addie tilted her head, curiosity clear on her face. So if we're supposed to be going into the swamp, why are we all meeting here at the auditorium instead of the docks? Tommy shrugged, a glint of excitement in his eyes. Guess they want to keep us on our toes. Maybe it's part of the test, not knowing exactly what to expect. Just then the doors to the auditorium creaked open, and a stern woman dressed in squash and zucchini-colored robes stepped out, gesturing for the students to enter. Her expression was unreadable, and her sharp eyes scanned the crowd as though assessing each student before they even stepped foot inside. The murmur of voices quieted instantly, and one by one, students began filing into the hall. Addie glanced back at Tira, her expression a mix of curiosity and encouragement. Guess we're about to find out what's next. Yeah. Tira took a deep breath, feeling the weight of anticipation settle over her. Whatever awaited them inside, it would be the first step towards something bigger, something she was both nervous and eager to uncover.